Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Bahir Fuad, and the subject today is lessons that we can learn from the Battle of Ohod. This battle occurred in the third year after Hijra, and the reason is Quraish wanted to revenge its losses in the Battle of Badr, so they came to Medina in order to fight and defeat and destroy the Muslim state in Medina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ لِيَصُدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَسَيُنْفِقُونَهَا ثُمَّ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسْرَةً ثُمَّ يُغْلَبُونَ وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ يُحْشَرُونَ. Surah Al-Anfal, chapter 8 in the Quran. Those who reject faith spend their money in order to block or obstruct others from the way of Allah. They will spend it, and then at the end it will be only regret for them, and they will be in hellfire. Now, the Battle of Ohod was a test for the Muslims. Before the battle started, the chief hypocrite in Medina retreated with 1/3 of the army, and his goal was to cause weakness and uncertainty and disorder and defeat in the heart of Muslims even before the battle started. The Prophet ﷺ and his companions were strong in faith and wanted to fight. And the Prophet ﷺ ordered the archers, 50 of them, to cover the back of the Muslims and never to leave their positions under any circumstance. When the fighting started, the Muslims fought with courage and they defeated the large army of Quraish. However, some of the archers, when they saw the unbelievers run away, they followed them looking for the spoils of war and left the back of the Muslim army exposed. The cavalry from the Quraysh army saw that, and they came and killed the other archers, and now were chasing the Muslims from their behind. And the initial victory turned into defeat. The Prophet ﷺ rallied the Muslims around him, and they fought with courage, and the total disaster and absolute defeat was turned or stemmed off, and Quraysh only had a partial victory. The next day the Prophet and his companions fought with courage and determination, and Quraysh returned to Mecca with partial victory. They did not kill the Prophet, nor did they destroy the Muslim state in Medina. Now, this disobedience to the Prophet's orders teaches us a lesson that we need to obey the Prophet and his orders. If we don't, then disaster may occur. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala في سورة النور chapter 24 وأطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول فإن تولوا فإنما عليه ما حمل وعليكم ما حملتم وإن تطيعوه تهتدوا وما على الرسول إلا البلاغ المبين. Obey Allah and obey the messenger. If you turn away, then he carries the responsibility of his actions, and you bear the responsibility of your actions. But if you obey him, you will be guided. his duty is to deliver the message. And there are many verses in the Quran telling us that we need to obey the orders of the Prophet ﷺ. مَنْ يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. Whoever obeys the messenger, he is obeying Allah. Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4 in the Quran. Now, the setback and defeat in Ohod was willed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a test and a trial for the Muslims. This way they learn from it, they become humble, and they increase in faith and in resolve, and also to distinguish those who have faith from those who lack faith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in Surah Al-Imran, إِنْ يَمْسَسْكُمْ قَرْحٌ فَقَدْ مَسَّ الْقَوْمَ قَرْحٌ مِثْلُ. If a wound afflicts you, then know that similar wound has afflicted other people before you. وَلِيَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَيَتَّخِذَ مِنْكُمْ شُهَدَاءَ, so that Allah may know who amongst you have faith and take to himself martyrs from among them. وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ. Allah loves not those who are wrongdoers. To be tested and tried is the norm and is to be expected. أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَنْ يُتْرَكُوا أَنْ يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do people think that just because they say we believe that they will be left alone and not tested and tried? وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. We have surely tested those before them. فَلَا يَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَا يَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. Allah will know who is truthful and who is lying. The two verses are from Surah Al-Ankabut, the Spider, chapter 29, the Quran. Also, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ حَتَّى نَعْلَمَ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ مِنْكُمْ وَنَبْلُوَ وَالصَّابِرِينَ وَنَبْلُوَ أَخْبَارَكُمْ. Surah Muhammad, chapter 47. We are going to test you and try you until we know who amongst you strive in our way and who amongst you patiently persevere, and we are going to test what you are made of. And وفي سورة البقرة Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ أُولَئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ. We are going to test you with something of fear and hunger and loss of lives, property, and the fruits of your labor. But give glad tidings to those who patiently persevere, those who, when they are afflicted with calamity, say, we belong to Allah and to Him is our return. On them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send His blessings and His mercy, and they are the ones who are guided. So to be tested and tried is the norm. Also, the Battle of Ohod and the difficulty and the stress that the Muslims showed the difference between those who believe and those who lack faith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. Allah made a bargain with the believers. He purchased from them their own persons and their money. يقاتلون في سبيل الله فيقتلون ويقتلون. They fight in the way of Allah and they kill and they get killed. وعدا عليه حقا في التوراة والإنجيل والقرآن. A promise binding on Allah in the Torah, in the Gospel, and in the Quran. وَمَنْ أَوْفَى بِعَهْدِهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ, who is more truthful to his covenant than Allah. فَاسْتَبْشِرُوا بِبَيْعِكُمُ الَّذِي بَايَعْتُمْ بِهِ وَذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. So rejoice in the bargain that you have completed or concluded, and this is the supreme achievement. The believers know that they are winning either way. If they die, they are martyrs and they have paradise. If they win, then they have the victory. قُلْ هَلْ تَرَبَّصُونَ بِنَا إِحْدَى الْحُسْنَيَيْنِ. Do you wait or hope for us except one of two glorious fates, meaning either victory or killed as a martyr? And the ayah in Surah At-Tawbah, Repentance, chapter 9, the Quran. Now, in contrast, those who lack faith run away. في آل عمران, chapter 3 in the Quran, is تُصْعِدُونَ وَلَا تَلْوُونَ عَلَى أَحَدٍ وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ. You are running away, afraid of death, and not looking at all, and the messenger is calling you from behind. إِذْ تُصْعِدُونَ وَلَا تَلْوُونَ عَلَى أَحَدٍ وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ فَأَصَابَكُمْ غَمًّا بِغَمٍّ. And therefore he caused you to feel distress after distress. لِكَيْ لَا تَأْسَوْا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ. In order that you may not be sad regarding the victory that eluded you, that you did not get, وَلَا مَا أَصَابَكُمْ, or what you are suffering. So there is a basic difference between those who have faith and those who lack faith. And the basic difference is those of faith are hoping, rest their hopes with Allah. Those who have no faith, they cannot hope for anything. إن تكونوا تألمون فإنهم يألمون كما تألمون وترجون من الله ما لا يرجون. الآية في سورة النساء, chapter 4. If you are suffering, they are suffering similar suffering, but the difference is that you hope for the help and the mercy of Allah. They have no such hope. So to summarize, there are many lessons we learned from the Battle of Ohod. It was a severe test for the Muslims when they suffered partial defeat, and that is because the archers disobeyed the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Muslims, some of them lacked faith and they ran away, and many were killed, and among them is Talha, who shielded the Prophet and suffered many wounds and died, and Mus'ab and Abu Dujana, and among the women Umara. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وادعوه إنه سميع قريب مجيب.